Way down in southern India, there's this ancient city called Tirunelveli. Now, at first glance, you might just think, okay, another historical town. But if you look just a little bit closer, you find a place where sacred temples, incredible healing waterfalls, and, get this, wild tigers all share the same landscape. So today, we're going to dig into how these three worlds don't just exist side by side, but actually create something completely unique. Let's get into it. So that really is the central question, right? What happens when you mash up ancient devotion with the sheer power of nature and untamed wildlife, all in one spot? That's the puzzle at the heart of Tirunelveli, which folks also call Nellai. It's this exact blend, the sacred sites, the therapeutic waters, and that wild, wild wilderness that we're going to unpack together.
You know, to really understand what makes Tirunelveli tick, you can't just look at the surface. You gotta think of it like peeling back the layers of an onion. Each one reveals a totally different, but absolutely essential part of its identity.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to look at this in three parts. First up, the deep spiritual foundation of the city. Then we'll dive right into its famous natural escapes. And to finish, we're going to venture into its wild, protected heart. Trust me, each piece of this puzzle is crucial to seeing the whole amazing picture. All right, let's start with layer one, the spiritual core. This is where you can feel the city's ancient soul. It's literally carved into the magnificent stone of its temples. Right at the center of it all is the Nellaiappar Temple. And honestly, just calling it a temple really doesn't do it justice. This thing is a massive complex, a true Dravidian marvel, which is this ancient architectural style known for these huge, incredibly ornate temple towers. And this one's a twin marvel, with one shrine for the god Shiva and another for his wife Parvati. But maybe the coolest part? It has these pillars that are carved so perfectly that they actually produce different musical notes when you tap them. How amazing is that? But what's really interesting is how diverse the spiritual landscape is here. On one hand, you have the Nellaiappar Temple, which is all about architectural grandeur. But then you have the Sankarankovil Temple, which tells a totally different story. It's dedicated to a single deity that's actually a combination of two major gods, Shiva and Vishnu. This unique fusion is this incredibly powerful symbol of religious harmony. And to really round out the spiritual layer, we have to talk about the Krishnapuram Temple. Its real claim to fame is its unbelievable artistry. The sculptures here, especially in its famous 100-pillar hall, are just exquisitely lifelike. It's a showcase of craftsmanship that is just on another level. Okay, time to peel back our second layer. We're shifting gears now, moving from stone and spirit to water and wellness. This is where Tirunelveli's identity gets a little more fluid. It offers a completely different kind of sanctuary, one that flows and heals. And the absolute heart of this layer is a place called Kordalam. Now, this isn't just some pretty waterfall. Nope, it's a whole series of them, and their waters are said to be so healing that the entire place has earned the official title, the Spa of South India. People come from all over, not just for the views, but for genuine rejuvenation. And visiting Kordalam is like taking a journey. You can start at the really impressive main falls, and then you can move on to the super unique 5 falls, where the water literally splits into 5 separate streams. The path can even take you to the quieter, more serene old Kordalam. Each stop along this path has a totally different vibe. And you see this blend of nature and spirit everywhere. In a place called Papanasam, the waterfalls are right next to a temple, and the water is believed to wash away sins. Nearby, you've got Agastiyar Falls, which is just steeped in ancient myths. And tying this whole layer together is the Thamirabarani River. It is truly the cultural and, well, literal lifeline of the entire region. And now, for our third and final layer. We're moving from the therapeutic to the untamed. The whole mood shifts here as we enter a realm of raw nature, a place of quiet awe that exists right on the city's doorstep. Welcome to the Kalakkad Mundanthurai Tiger Reserve, or KMTR for short. This is nestled in the super important Western Ghats mountain range. And this isn't just a park, okay? It's a critical biodiversity hotspot. It's a protected natural treasure, and it's absolutely essential for the ecological health of the entire nation. So what makes this place so special? Well, for starters, it's a vital sanctuary for iconic species like tigers and elephants. It's an absolute paradise for birdwatchers. But more than anything, it's this powerful, humbling showcase of nature in its most raw, pure, and untamed state. Okay, So, we've looked at the three distinct layers: devotion, nature, and wildlife. Now comes the fun part. Let's bring it all back together and see how these totally separate worlds actually converge to create one single unified identity. This is where it all clicks. So when you lay it all out like this, you really see the full picture. You've got the spiritual magnetism of the temples, the therapeutic escape of the waterfalls, and the wild, untamed sanctuary of the Tiger Reserve. And the key thing to remember is that none of these exist in a vacuum. They all feed into each other to create the rich, complex, layered identity of Tirunelveli. So in the end, Tirunelveli isn't just a spiritual city, and it isn't just a nature destination. It is, at its very core, a cultural and an ecological capital. It's a place that's defined by this powerful, beautiful convergence of devotion, nature, and heritage. And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with. In a world that loves to put everything in a neat little box, that wants to label places with a single specialty, how do we protect a place like this? A place whose greatest strength isn't just one single identity, but the beautiful, complex harmony of all of them working together. Something to think about.